We start the recording. Is the recording? Yeah, it is. Greetings, everybody. Bernie Floresca from Career Services with another group coaching for resume. We have students who came from the recent boot camp 2 days ago who were interested in having their resumes taken a closer look at. So before we get there, I would like to share some resources which will be the basis of today's discussion. When Sanjar shows up, we will talk about his resume also, but we're definitely focusing on yours, Vivek, and yours as well, Om, okay? So let me share the screen. Let me set the groundwork so that I want you guys to pay attention because any latecomers, Vivek and Om, I expect you to bring them up to speed with what you understand so far, okay?
All right.
So
Yes.
thank you. From the LinkedIn group, if you already logged into it, all you have to do is click home and then you'll click groups and then you go Illinois Tech Career Services. So if you were listening to the presentation last Wednesday, how do I find the index once I'm in the group?
Any post that has the word
Any
index in
post.
it.
So you just scroll down until you see where it says index. So there's one. There's another. Well, that wasn't it. This one. I'll just pick one and then just click index. So what you see on the screen is the at a glance table of contents. There is even a video that explains how to get around and look for what you're looking for. And then the at a glance table of contents is as you see it. So since you have different topics, there's international, interview, mental health. Since we're talking about resumes today, all we have to do is click resume. And we're in a document that is called the index. So, Om, what do you remember about the description of the index? What do you remember from Wednesday?
Like it has nearly everything that we need to build our career. Even like we have holidays in IIT, but we can learn anything from this index.
Okay,
Like
good.
we
So,
just have to control app, like find and just type what you have to learn, and you can learn anything from this.
good job, Om. So, after I gave you that information last Wednesday, give me an example of what you've looked at so far.
Like I check the old resume versus new thing, like comparison, like how the
The
students
case
improve their
studies,
resume. Yeah, it is below.
the case
Yes, case
studies
study.
here.
Yes, that
Okay.
one.
Which one did you take a look at?
Like I check first one.
The very first one on top?
No, no. In the bottom
Case
one.
study one.
Case
So
study
you
one.
checked
Yeah.
out the old version and the new version.
Yeah.
All right, very good. What about you, Vivek? What have you checked out on the index?
I looked at the advocates section that you.
Advocate section. Okay, so you're talking about it's in hashtag control business relations. And for the purposes of people tuning in for the first time, um, business relations is really what we know of as networking, but we call it business relations because we want you to focus on the relationships with those connections. So under hashtag business relations, Vivek said he went there. So under hashtag business relations, highlighted in yellow is the document that Vivek was talking about, but I will not go through that. Um, let's go back to hashtag business, hashtag resume. So this part where it says resume design principles, we talk about four. I started with those in the boot camp, but so Vivek, let's start with you. Number one, what do you think is important? You need to get 2 points out of number one. What is it?
mm, we should realize that hiring managers don't have a lot of time.
No,
So,
no, 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 no. I'm talking about number one. I highlighted.
oh,
So
okay.
direct coaching for you. You're not following instructions. Always make sure you follow instructions when you're looking for a job. So I repeat the instructions for design principle number 1. What are 2 points that we want you to get out of number 1?
We need to think like the hiring manager and
How
what
do
they
you do
want.
that?
Yes, from the job description.
Very
So
good.
we need to keep reading that.
And the second part
That
of number 1?
the resume needs to reflect those results and accomplishments that are required from the job description.
Okay, so review for you, Vivek. Why is that important?
Because essentially, you wouldn't want the hiring manager to easily find those. And yeah,
Say more. Practice answering interview questions because that didn't quite answer the question.
okay.
So why is it
So
important to focus on results and accomplishments versus just talking about tasks?
it shows the more actionable outcomes that you brought for the company that you worked at and any projects that you've done, how that has affected realistically. So
Well,
that helped.
hopefully positively, realistically, right? Because I mean, there are negatively realistic
Yeah.
information as well, but because job search is all about standing out so that
Mhm.
you could be selected as the best candidate, you want to highlight your positive attributes, to your point, being realistic, right?
Right.
Anything to add to that, Om?
No, it is fine.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so your turn. Number 2. What are 2 points that you need to get out of number 2? The reason I go over this is we're going to shortly jump into your resumes, and I want you guys to pinpoint where we're not addressing what we're talking about as far as the design principles.
Yeah.
So number 2, Om,
Okay.
what are the
So
2
hiring,
points?
yeah. So first one is hiring managers have not that much of time to
Mm-hmm,
check a whole resume.
mm-hmm,
Like they have thousands of resume to check and select a few candidates for the job position.
mm-hmm.
So this is the first point. And the second point is our resume has to uh, created such that like they got what they want from a resume. Like we have to read the job description thoroughly, like what they need, and we have to show that in a resume so they can directly catch that from a resume.
So that they can get it very quickly, right? Because
Yep.
they're very busy.
Hmm.
You need to honor that fact if you want to be effective. And the way you honor that is to give them the information that they're looking for because you studied the job description.
Yeah.
So you guys seeing how this is all connected?
Yeah.
Okay. And remember how Nick talked about last Wednesday that they said, job description, and then a lot of people, they're not focusing on it. So what are your thoughts on the sharing as to you need a target? Did that shift anything for you guys?
No,
Or were you already studying the job description?
yeah, I was
Yeah, I
already studying
started
those.
to read job description.
Good
Mhm.
job. See, that actually explains why you're on this call and everybody else isn't. It sounds like you're the guys who are on top of things and you want some more information. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So number 3 says that a resume tailored to the job description with the results and accomplishments is actually preparation for the interview. Why is that?
It essentially makes it easier for us to show them that we have done this action and I got this outcome
Mhm.
during the interview.
Yes.
So the paper is in their hands as well.
Yes, it's actually an extension of the resume. The resume, you were being strategic so that they would pick you out of the thousands of applicants. And now that you know what your results and accomplishments are, once you know how to articulate that, how to verbalize it very strategically to the hiring managers, then you rise above the crowd as the choice candidate. Make sense?
Yeah.
Very good. And then the last one, it's your job search. Consider advice, including the advice that I'm giving you, including the advice that you see on the internet or your peers or whomever else, because it's your job search. Consider the advice, but at the end of the day, it's your call. If something's working for you, do more of it. If something's not working, well, stop it. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just go through the bottom here and then actually, why don't we just go since it's still fresh in your minds? Who wants to go first? Vivek or Om?
I could go first if that's okay.
Okay. Hey, Sagar, welcome. Welcome to the call. Sagar is another student like Sri who likes to learn more about resumes, and he sees that it gives him a different perspective when he's observing this conversation going on. So, welcome, Sagar. Did you have anything to share while we're waiting for Vivek?
Uh, I think so. Whatever Bernie shares with you, it 100% works. It worked for me within 2 3 weeks, and I always get results. Just I I just give you advice. Just trust him blindly, and it
Press
worked
him
out for
blindly.
me.
I don't think so, man. I told you in
I mean,
design principle number 4, I said it's your call. All right, make it bigger, Vivek, so that we can see it with the screen, and then you don't have to scroll down slowly. That's better. Start from the top, scroll down slowly, and then I want Om to give me an assessment based on the design principles that we just spoke of. So scroll down slowly for Om and Sri and Sagar. We'll start with Om giving feedback.
So the a good point of Vivek's resume is like he has bold the important things like reinforcement learning, Simulink, like it directly shows the HR manager to see what works, like what they are finding for. So that is the good thing.
Which part specifically? Point out.
Like in work experience, he has bold the numbers, then which technology he has used.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
the other thing, like we have discussed in our last bootcamp, that our resume has to be simple because ATS will reject this type of designs because they cannot read the columns, and also this resume is in columns. So that is the negative point, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Did you catch that, Vivek?
I
Yes,
want to
yeah.
add.
Hang on, hang on. Let me hear what Vivek has to say, and then you go next, Sagar.
Just had a point on this. I put this through VMark and it read it. So that was one of the questions I wanted to ask.
Mhm.
If VMark's able to read this, wouldn't most ATS be able to?
Do you know that for a fact?
Not really, but
Do you
uh,
want to take your chances when you're applying for a job?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you said VMUC passed it. What did we share during the interview? We've been through ATS training, and they have over 200 versions of ATS. And then even if you understood anything in particular, like for example, you could say you know VMUC, and you were able to get a high score on VMUC, you don't know the company that you're going to, because obviously you're going to be sending a few applications, right?
Yes.
So what's your conclusion at this point, Vivek?
I'd like to make a more simple the format that the VMark gave me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to make
So I
one.
have to agree with you. It's visually pleasing to Ohm's point. It kind of like highlights certain things. If you were handing the resume, this isn't a bad format. Okay. It's up to you to make that. But if you're sending it out through applicant tracking systems, like I said, you take your chances,
Mhm.
even if it goes through some ATSs, you're taking your chances because you don't know what ATS the company has, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sagar, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I mean the overall look, it's little bit distracting for me.
Hmm.
If
Which
I'm
part? Which part? Which
I mean
part?
overall the
Okay.
for me, like I'm a finance guy. I use a simple pattern, and it has a lot of coloring, and I mean I don't know where to focus. I
Okay.
I I understand the education is comes first, then skills, and besides that there is experience. But I follow a standard format, like
Hmm.
a smaller summary,
Hmm.
and then experience
Mhm.
or education. So this little bit looks little distracting to me. I
Mhm.
I can be wrong, but I
Well,
think
it's
so.
distracting to you. So let me put that in perspective, Sagar. Did you hear what he said, Vivek? Obviously,
Yeah.
you're a computer science student, and then you're sending this to computer science
Yeah,
companies.
yeah.
One could say, what good is Sagar's opinion because he's in finance? So what if the HR person happens to be like Sagar, who has a finance background? Do you see how we're
That is,
putting this into perspective?
that
I
is
mean,
very
one
true.
could pretty much just brush off what Sagar said because, hey, you'd be like, hey, you're a finance guy. But in the real world, how do you not know that the
Mhm.
HR person is a finance person? So you see how the rule in ATS that's saying the simpler the better really applies on so many different levels.
That is true. Uh, yeah, so I understand that I have to reformat everything to make it simpler.
Yeah.
And
Actually, let me show you some more resources for that. Vivek, so just 1 second. Um, all these windows are all over the place. So take a look at this under hashtag resume. Okay, under hashtag resume.
mhm.
Oops, wrong one. Control F, hashtag resume, enter. Okay, so take a look at this, Vivek and Om. It's still under hashtag resume. It's below the resume design principles. You have the recordings of sessions out here, and then you have the case studies that you said you took a look at. But actually, at the beginning of hashtag resume, it says Illinois Tech resources. So Vivek, you may want to go to this part, and I guess I'm repeating that for the sake of the other students having to find this who are just listening into the call. I think I clicked the cover letter. So you click career resources. And you see this here, Vivek? There's a resume guide, there's a cover letter, and then there's a resume template, which is the simplest format that we use. You could use this or you go to the internet to go find it.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any more questions or additional comments to Vivek's resume? Because otherwise, I would like to go to Om's resume. Oh, Sri, did you have any comments for Vivek before we move to Om? No? I guess go
Uh,
ahead.
I want to highlight the one more thing.
Mhm.
If he already followed your instruction, you asked me where is the relevancy, and that worked for me.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
gotten there yet. I just
Yeah,
want to get the feedback and then we're
yeah,
going to dive into
yeah.
their
Okay,
bullets.
okay,
But
okay.
you're absolutely right. Did
Yeah,
you see how well Sagar knows his stuff? His first impression is he's already picking stuff because he's been to a few of these, not just for him to be coached, but he attends these reviews, if you will. And if you notice, his eyes, they're kind of like eagles, an eagle's eyes looking for food, right? He can hone in immediately on what needs to be changed. So, your turn before we
Yeah,
dive deep into what Sagar was talking about.
just a second. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here is my resume. Like
Okay. Scroll down
this is
slowly because I want to hear Vivek's. No, make it bigger, just like we asked Vivek earlier.
okay.
There you go. And then scroll down slowly. Thank you. Feel free to stop him, Vivek, because I want you to give the first comment.
Could you stop for a second? So just looking at all this text is kind of really a lot. I would be more interested in having some words highlighted if possible.
Yeah.
And like this is a really small thing, but on the top I
Mm.
saw a +1, which is
Yeah, I agree with you
yeah, I
for that.
don't think a +1 in your phone number is like okay,
It
you
screams
need it.
international.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Other
start with
than that,
773 ohm.
yeah,
Okay, done.
I think that's pretty I found. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Hmm.
What about the design principles that we talked about? Neither of you made any comments on what we talked about.
I mean,
Any immediate?
essentially, the highlighting part is, I think, design principle number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so
Mhm.
what's your comment about number 2 relative to Ohm's resume?
So we need to give the hiring manager like quick and easy ways to go through the resume, and I
Hmm.
think highlighting stuff is like making it easier for them.
Mm.
Okay. So, what would you say to Ohm, or what would you ask him to make sure that he covers that point that you just made, Vivek? Actually, Sagar alluded to it earlier. So, without diving into it, I'm curious, based on your current knowledge of the design principles,
Mhm.
Vivek, knowing what you know now, how would you help Ohm address what you just shared about being relevant?
About being relevant.
Yeah.
I would
Because to your
say
point, he has some good stuff
to
here.
being relevant to the job description is essentially making sure that anything that is required from the job description
Yeah, I
is
think
clear.
Ohm already got that. That's why we discussed the first part. Now we're rolling up our sleeves and making that happen. So does Ohm need to do, or what can we do to find out whether this is relevant or not?
Um,
You
I
don't have
think
the answers. Ohm does.
highlighting key.
Well,
we
no,
have
don't tell him what to do. He's actually here, so let's.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let Sagar do it. He raised his hand.
I like the consistency the format has. It's like very the format I'm using. That's the one he's using right now. What Bernie is trying to make a point. Relevancy is about re-rank your things.
okay.
If you have some experience, it should be on top what they are looking for, not at the bottom. They flip
Mm.
the resume in this 5 seconds or 10 seconds.
So how do
So
we find out, Sagar? How do we
I
know?
I mean, if you believe you have certain experience, it should be on top. Then your experience should be on top, not your projects. And if your projects are at the bottom and you have that thing in your projects, so you should re-rank. Bernie once told me that give them earlier than later.
But I ask you a quick question
Yes.
immediately for any resume sessions that I have
Uh huh.
to address relevance. So what question should we be asking Om right now?
What is the one thing is relevant to that job description?
Very
What do you
good.
think? Yeah.
Did you catch
They
that,
need
Om?
experience,
Which
in my
part?
opinion.
Which one?
Experience.
Which
Experience.
one? Which one? You're giving me general, okay? You have all sorts of experience on the sheet of paper. So if I'm very busy and then you just go, Mr. Hiring Manager Bernie, it's in my experience. So go find it. Is that what you're really telling them?
No, I'm
Okay,
finding for
so now answer Sagar's question and hold the hand of the very busy hiring manager. Say, this is what I want you to take a look at. So which one would that be?
like I'll check technical skills and the soft skills directly from the
Again,
experience.
again, I'm very busy. I said, hold their hand. So scroll up to your resume. You had drug repurposing is one experience. And then the next one was distributed hash, second experience. And then you had codage, habitation, third experience. And then you have what else?
Nothing. but
So you have 3 experiences, right?
yeah,
So to Sagar's question, out of the 3 experiences, which one should the very busy hiring manager focus on first if it were up to you to lead them?
experience. They first check experience.
Again, you're talking about cottage habitation, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice what's going on? Okay, let me teach you guys another concept. You kept on saying experience, experience, experience because you know you only have one experience.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when you say the word experience and I'm a stranger looking at your resume, I have 3 experiences.
Okay.
So you did not catch that. You are immersed in your line of thinking. And part of what we're trying to teach you in job search is to be very aware as to what you're saying lands on the other party.
Okay.
Did you catch that, Om? Because you kept on
Yeah.
saying experience, experience, experience. You know you have one experience, but it occurred to me after you kept on saying experience, and I looked at it and I'm like, yep, that's why he's saying experience, because he only has one, but he
Mhm.
has 2 projects. In your
Yeah.
mind, it's very distinct because this is your stuff. You know that you have 2 projects, you know that you have 1 work experience, but when you're talking to me, a stranger, and I say, what is most relevant to me? And then you just say experience, your mind is saying, I only have 1. To the person you're speaking to, they see 3 things. So in my mind, I keep on saying, which one, which one, which one?
Yeah.
So what I just shared with you was a little nuance in the
Mhm.
job search that's called always be listening from the perspective of your audience. Remember when I said hand holding earlier to Sagar's question? I said, lead us to it. Okay, you kept on saying experience. I would know that this person has no knowledge, and I would probably kind of go to the different things like
Mhm.
cottage habitation or distributed hash or drug repurposing. So thank you for giving us that opportunity to make that point, actually. Oh,
Thank you.
so what did you understand before we let Srilasha share?
Like, I have to first to rearrange the things. Like, I have to put my experience on the above. Then the projects is as important as my experience, because that I've also done really nice. So that's I learned from this.
Okay, so let me drive what you said further. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look at a job description and your relevant experience could be the project and not the work experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
to just say, because what I heard you say, this you want to put your experience above. No, this is what Sagar was saying earlier. You have to be relevant. So in this case, it just so happened that your codage technician is the most relevant. And so to answer Sagar's point earlier, yes, it makes sense to bring codage above the projects because that is the first relevant piece. But to give a blanket statement saying that the experience, the real work experience, always has to be on top is not true
Yeah.
because we're about relevance. Sagar brought it up immediately. Do you understand the little adjustment that I made to your thinking, Om?
Yeah. I got it.
Okay, cool. Vivek, what are you getting so far?
I'm understanding that the hiring manager, what the most relevant thing to their job description might be something related to web development. So that needs to be highlighted on the top. If we were doing machine learning, then drug repurposing should be on the top.
Yes. So that's why we
Mm.
said study the job description, and then whatever the job description is looking for, that is discussing what Sagar alluded to earlier about relevance. Okay. So I repeat design principle number 1. You need to know the job description inside out. Number 2, because you're the best person who knows your experience, it's up to you. It's your responsibility to connect the dots so that you're more strategic, so that you rise to the top. So now that you know the job description, now that you know your experiences, you now tailor it to what Sagar kept on pointing to: relevance, relevance, relevance,
Mhm.
according to the job description. And when you address that, it's a perfect fit now. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are we connecting the dots for you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any more questions? 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, time to pipe in if there was something I didn't cover from what you said, you were about to say.
No.
So I just want to add one point to the earlier discussion that happened. So whenever if in-person meeting or connection, so if someone is asking again same question, just to make us understand whether we are telling them right, just ask them that, is this what you want, so that they'll be giving you another clarification that
Mm.
this is what they want, so that we'll be giving right explanation that they want to receive. That is what I just want to add.
Thank you, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. Did you catch that, Om? 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, obviously, as an observer, observed me keeping on asking the same question.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what we're trying to bring out with you guys. You should be able to read the situation. And that is what I assert the repeat attending of these sessions has done for Sri and Sagar. Now what we talk about, I mean, because you guys are on the hot seat, so to speak, right now,
Yeah.
right? So the way that you're looking at things that I'm saying doesn't necessarily make sense. But for Sri and Sagar, they've attended numerous of these. So if you notice how they're improving their skills,
Yeah.
they observed how you weren't addressing the reading the situation. So thank you, Sri. Sagar, anything else to add?
Yeah, you also taught me how to write with AI. I find it in index.
Well, when we get into the deep dive into the bullets,
Yeah,
we'll talk
yeah,
about your experience with AI.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Vivek,
Yeah, got it. Crystal, it was.
you got it crystal clear. So let's continue with Om, and then you're understanding the steps, Vivek. Let's go back with your share, Om. So you said the most relevant, and I think I alluded to this a little in the boot camp. I said that the most relevant point. Share your screen, please.
Yeah, I'm sharing. My laptop is working slowly.
It's slow,
Sorry
yeah,
for
I
that.
hear you. Especially when you're in a Zoom.
Yeah.
So your most relevant experience is codage habitation. So I'm going to call that segment 1 just for the
Okay.
purposes of discussion. Segment 1 just means it's the most relevant, right? So according to the job description, Om, what's your segment 2?
Like I found this job description, cloud intern.
No. You don't need to share this with us because that's your job to
Okay.
understand it. So I'm just asking you the question. So according to that job description that you were showing us, which one is your segment 2?
This one, distributor has
Very good.
writing.
And your segment 3 is obviously drug repurposing prediction.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me share let me just jump into this. Keep that thought in mind, Om, how your segment 1 was at the bottom, your segment 2 happened to be the top, and your segment 3 happened to be the middle one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go back to hashtag resume and this part where we have the case studies. Actually, why don't I do this? Because it's relative to what we said. All this group coaching that you see here, group coaching and resume workshops, actually, this group coaching is going to show up here shortly as the December 19th version. And I'm going to give the problem that we're fixing for this particular call. For this particular call, part of the issue was relevance to the job description, right? So what I'm trying to point out to you guys is when you take a look at the resources, we've attempted to capture what the problem we're solving in that recording is. So the beauty of a recording, you could play back at speed 2, and then we tried to help you a bit more by having the problem specific here. So let me point something specific out. So what does it say here?
Standout tactic
Tactic.
summary
So
applicable.
summary, if applicable. So question for you, is a summary required?
Summary like
That's just a yes, no question. Is a summary
in
required?
my opinion, no.
Okay, Vivek, what do you think?
I'd say it was required because it's not chronologically placed, the
Okay.
relevant thing.
Vivek has a little bit better understanding of this. So Vivek Ohm caught that because when you in a resume, whenever you write your experiences, it's always from the most recent to the oldest. Okay. In your case, your most relevant was fixed by your answer to Saga earlier. He pointed it out that your experience should be really on top. And the reasoning is now different because we've discussed the design principles. The reason it should be on top is because of relevance.
Mm.
Do you catch that,
Yeah.
So because your segment one happened to be in one whole category, an easy fix was to bring it up. However, when we take a look at your projects, the most relevant again happened to be the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vivek caught, he kind of read into what I was talking about, saying, and when we say that a standout tactic is summary,
Mm.
what we're suggesting for you, that because you're kind of all over the place, a summary might be good for you. So let me give you an example. Case study 5 is a freshman. He was a freshman at the time. So let me open up case study 5 better. So just like you, when we started this conversation with this student, he was all over the place as well. But after we gave him the suggestion of the summary, guess what this summary accomplishes? Or guess what this summary would accomplish in your case, And actually, Vivek already gave you a clue. What are you noticing? At the very top of the resume, you get to arrange your experiences directly relative to what you saw in the job description.
Mm.
Okay. So now, because it's not, doesn't have to be arranged chronologically, you could talk about your segment 1 first, then you could talk about your segment 2, you could talk about your segment 3, and you could also copy these. I noticed that you were a 4.0. You could do the same
Yeah.
thing. You could just say GPA 4.0, 4.0, and then you highlight the first 4.0 so it stands out. It pops even more than the way that you have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So rule of thumb for GPAs, the US is not a market that's very intent on seeing what your GPA is, but if you have it, you flaunt it. So you have it, so flaunt it. All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
do it just like we have here. You could even put it in your summary. So what happened with Benjamin when we went through his old resume, we went through his experiences. We asked him the question of what's your segment 1? What's your segment 2? So after he identified segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, he gathers all those points. He puts it on the top of the resume. You massage it a little bit to make it look like a summary, like so. And what did this establish? It establishes what Sagar caught immediately in the beginning, because Sagar went to, how do we know it's relevant?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can address it with a summary. It's a strategic move, especially in the case for like for you. Vivek, what do you think? Would you need a summary based on this discussion so far?
I wouldn't, but
You don't need it for you?
yeah, but I would like to have the summary in place just because a couple of the skills that are
Okay, hang
required.
on. How about we jump to your resume so that we can contrast it with Ohms and this one that I just showed you. And stop share. Nope, I don't want to do that. Where's the screen? I didn't want to do that. Zoom. Oh, I know what happened. Because I had the floating controls. Okay, I think you can share now, right? So tell us what you were about to tell us, but this time we have your resume in front of you relative to the new term I gave you, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. Hmm.
I'm just
What screen are you guys seeing? Because it looks like I'm still. Oh, stop share. All right, there you go.
Yeah, it's
Vivek can now share his screen.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do multiple share.
All right. I guess it's visible now.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Which one is your
the
segment one?
my segment one is this
Eco car?
yes, car
Okay.
because
Tab team.
the job description is requiring these skills, which
Okay,
I
good.
tried to highlight.
Yeah.
And
What's your
there's Mhm.
what's your segment two?
My segment 2 becomes this project, football match analysis.
Football match. Very good. What's your segment three?
It's privacy preserved.
Did you notice, how he's all over the place, so to speak, as far as relevance? So I guess it would be recommended that, and I can see why Vivek said, he would want a summary specific to this point.
Yeah, so I've
Very good. So there's one thing that Vivek is doing quite well, that you could learn from his bullets. What do you think that is?
like the segments are arranged properly, but in summary, he showed everything what the hiring manager need, like what they're looking for.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about Vivek, his bullets. I'm observing something about his bullets.
Uh,
Are you observing the same thing?
yeah, like his bullets are very short, like concise,
Very
and my bullets
concise.
are really lengthy. Like no one
Yes.
going to read everything.
Yeah, Vivek did a great job. It's very concise. To the point that we said earlier, they're very busy, and it looks like he's packing it with a punch because he's talking about results, right? In the punches that he has. So let's take a look at the first bullet there where he says develop intersection handling logic for autonomous reinforcement and Simulink achieving a 90% success rate. So do you see how it's packed with a punch, Om?
Yeah, and it
It's
also shows results, like what he have
exactly.
done.
Results. Yeah, results. So Sagar or Srilasya have a recommendation for bullet number one? Sagar?
To his experience, bullet one.
No. Develop intersection handling. I was about to give it, unless you know it or want to. I have
No.
a recommendation for his bullet, develop intersection.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it is? No is an acceptable answer.
I mean, this looks like little bit. L- not that convincing. I don't know what
It's
to
quite
add.
convincing. He achieved a 90% success rate. How
Yeah,
much more convincing do you need?
I mean, I don't know. Can you please elaborate more?
Yeah. So what I would change with Vivek is, because he framed this, okay? Because your job is to talk about your results so that when the person reads it, they get it immediately. So I think Vivek did a good job that he said he achieved 95% success rate. The suggestion I would give Vivek is to start with the accomplishment first. So I would start this whole bullet with achieved 95% success rate and then colon and then give the details.
Okay.
Okay, so again, that's along the same lines of remember design principle number two. They're very busy. Give them the result first because you need to hook them.
Yeah.
You need to hook them. All right. So I would start with the accomplishments. So, and then when you talk about the bullets, your task is to highlight it such that they get it immediately. Anything extra, and then I'm going to ask you this question now, Vivek, because you have all sorts of verbiage. And I think this is what Sagar was alluding to. It's quite confusing. Let's just say if he's not the direct hiring manager, let's just say Sagar was an HR person. Sometimes some of this information seems like it may look like a lot, but it may make sense to you. So Vivek, would your one bullet where you says develop intersection handling, is everything
Mm,
required, or are there some extra terms that could be taken out of there that you can bring up during the interview, but not necessarily for the resume?
I think so. You also mentioned once
No.
that.
Hang on. I want Vivek
Yeah,
to answer that
yeah.
question.
Okay.
I think I really
You compressed
that
it?
Yeah, in the
I don't
project.
think I expressed myself well, Vivek. What I was trying to say was your task is to communicate your result. And then if you have, sometimes we put in extra words, and sometimes the extra words are there because it was in the job description or it was industry term. So, and you're the best judge of this. And that's why I'm asking you directly. Sometimes there are extra words out there. Do you think that you've taken out all the fluff and that's exactly what they need to know?
Um, I think most of the fluff is out. I don't see any
Good.
extra
So
words.
that's fine. I'm just asking that question. I'm more saying this to like Ohm because when we start getting into the bullets of Ohm, he has more work to do. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is you need to capture the result in the least amount of words,
Mhm.
but you need to put just enough detail so that they get the accomplishment. I think you did a good job already by seeing how streamlined it was, Vivek, but I just had to ask you the question.
Okay.
And it sounds like your answer was yes. These
Yes.
are any questions about that, Om?
No.
Okay, Sagar, you were going to add?
On the time frame, you mentioned that result like 95%, then what? I mean, from last month, or there should be a month or specific period should be added. I mean,
You could be, you couldn't. So Vivek, what he's trying to bring up, and I don't
mhm.
know if this was part of your experience, but Sagar is bringing out that another measure of success is, I mean, you obviously have success rate, whatever that looks like. Obviously, you know that, but Sagar is suggesting that if there was also any time accomplishments, you could add it here. So Sagar was saying, you need to add time. Sagar, you may or may not, but thanks for bringing it up. We can ask
Yeah,
Vivek if
yeah.
that's a consideration for this particular experience. Did you have any time accomplishments?
No, this was not time. This was like a single thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even if it was a single thing, sometimes you have a deadline of, say, 1 week, but you accomplish that in, say, like 4 days. So that would be something to Sagar's point to call out
Okay.
that you delivered, 4 out of 7 days. You accomplished that 3 days earlier or something like that. So Sagar is just saying that time is
Mhm.
also a measure of success. So it
Mhm.
may or may not apply to you, but to your suggestion, Sagar, again, because the person is the best judge based on their experience, yes, they can include time if it's part of it. And if it's not, then we obviously can't make something up.
Well, that is true. But the thing about this particular section is that it's ongoing. So I wouldn't like to put the term, like any time limit on this.
Okay, I'm glad that you said that it's ongoing. A lot of students come to the office and we talk about results. They're like, oh, I don't have any results because this is a 6-month project and I'm only in month one. To the same point that you're trying to make, Vivek, that it's an ongoing thing. Okay, let's just say it's an ongoing thing for 6 months. You're kind of saying that there is really no time constraint because there's going to be a different measure. Okay, what we're talking about here is even, let's go back to the example of the person who has a 6-month project and they claim that they have no results yet because it's only month one. I assert that within the first month, you accomplished something. So talk about that. Don't talk about the big thing, if you will, but talk about what you've accomplished today. So even like you said, Vivek, earlier, if it's like an ongoing thing, so talk about whatever is in the past or that's
Okay.
currently ongoing that has results. Questions about that, Om?
No, it's fine. Like,
Okay, so Vivek is kind of ahead of you, Om, from that
yeah.
perspective. So I want to focus on your resume, and I'm going to engage Vivek, Sri, and Sagar to help you improve your bullets on your segment one for focus. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go to your resume, please.
Yeah.
Do you guys have to leave right at 2 o'clock? No? Okay, Vivek is good. Om is good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, Sri or Sagar, if you guys have to leave, please do so. We appreciate you joining this. And this is going to be sent out as a recording, as usual. So let's go to your segment 1, please. It was codage habitation.
Yeah.
So Sri and Sagar, what's the first question I'm going to ask about Ohm's bullets for codage habitation? They got lost. So, okay, I'll ask you the question. You have 3 bullets, Ohm, right?
Yeah.
So because there are 3 bullets, remember design principle said we need to give it to them sooner versus later. Are your bullets arranged from the most relevant to the least relevant?
No, it is not arranged.
Okay, so you see how that's a problem, right? Because they're
Yeah.
very busy. You need to give them what they're looking for. So you have 3 bullets. Which one should be first now that you know?
Like this one, this is the result one. Like they
Okay,
need
so
to see the
the
result.
second one should be the first bullet. So let's take a look at that. You said improve system performance and reliability by optimizing database. Okay, did you notice how you said that's the result? To me as a reader reading it for the first time, I say it's a description.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm trying to point out?
Yeah.
You, because this is your project, you knew it was a result, but me reading what you wrote, that was not a result the way you read it.
Yeah. I have to think like another person, like the person who don't know about me, how they
Correct.
get this resume and know everything about me.
So let's break that down for a second. So without thinking, tell us what you did with this codage habitation. So let's call out the results. So without worrying how you're arranging it or whatever, just give us a dump, and then I'll be interrupting you as you speak to try to bring out some of those results. Okay? Because you
Okay.
notice that Vivek was quantified all over the place. So some of the questions that I'm asking for you would be relative to what you're about to share. So let's go with the dump, Om. What did you do at codage habitation? Specifically
Like
the results part.
yeah, I created a project
Mhm.
in which we have created a product configurator.
Was this
And
just an individual project?
no, it is a group project.
How many people?
It's 4 people.
Okay, so you actually collaborated, which you have in the third bullet. Is that what you're talking about? Collaborated with
Yeah.
stakeholders?
Yeah, and we have talked with the stakeholder also that what they want.
Okay,
And
hang on. I heard you say also. So aside from the group, you have stakeholders. So you actually collaborated with how many total?
total 5.
Okay, so you collaborated on a team of 5. Some are
Yeah.
stakeholders, some are team members,
Yeah.
right? So within this project, Codage Habitation, was there any part that you led?
Sorry, can you rephrase
You
it?
know how you have projects and then they would say, okay, this is a project for 5 people. Bernie's going to be in charge of part A. Vivek's going to be in charge of part B. Was there anything like that in this project?
Like I done backend part, like whole logic.
Okay, so here you go, Om. Just based on that short description that you gave us, what you could be calling out for codage habitation is that you collaborated on a team of 5. You led X.
Okay.
Are you seeing how, based on what you word,
Yeah.
okay, and it goes back to what I said earlier. You knew that it was an accomplishment, but we didn't, not the way you wrote it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm kind of breaking it down for you, this is the thinking that you need to do outside of this conversation. And
Yeah.
that's why we have all the case studies. That's why we have all the recordings, because you're not the only student who's had this problem. And we tried to dissect it with different students. And I gave you a very, 2-minute experience of that. When you listen to the recordings, it's the same thing. I'd be like, okay, dump on us. Okay. So another way that you can do, the first way that you can do it is to do what we did. All right. You dump it on another person. The other person will be listening to what's the accomplishment. The second way to do that, if you're alone, is to write everything down. Okay.
Okay.
Everything that you did on the project, say for codage habitation, and then you read what you wrote, but you will now be the second person. You'd be like, as you're reading it, what did I really accomplish?
Okay.
So I just showed you two ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So the third way of doing it is what Sagar talked about earlier. Oh, he had to leave. Sagar talked about earlier, which was using AI.
Yeah.
Srilasa, do you want to cover that for a second about AI?
Yeah, so if we want to use AI for our experience to talk about experience with accomplishments, we can use that. But we can use AI in a way that where we want to refine the sentences, but we just don't want to use AI like blindly and put those sentences. It doesn't make any sense because you know that your experience and your accomplishments. Just write. This is what I do personally to do my resume. I'll write in my own words, and I'll use AI to like compress it or make it more refined structure. That is how I use AI to show impact more clear than what I usually write.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you. So let me share my screen and send you to some more resources here. Thank you, Sri. So when you go to the index, this is what Sagar was alluding to. See how it says impact? It's still under hashtag resume. Okay, so actually, if you do a search on AI like this, there's 30. Well, it's obviously identifying AI just as. Oh, there. AI interview GPT. That's for an interview. I know it's in hashtag resume, so I'm cheating a little just to save some time. It's under hashtag resume. So under the group coaching, you see how it says impact using ChatGPT 2? This whole section here, by the way, is for you, Om. I think I
Okay.
pointed this out during the boot camp. I said the biggest problem is usually calling out the results. Vivek, if you need this, you did a good job already, Vivek, but if you need it, it's this section that I highlighted. Okay. And under this section, that's where you have an example of how to use GPT.
Okay.
So is this the one that I needed to scrub, Srilasa? I think this one. Oh yeah, it works. It doesn't work when I click. So take a look at this. All right. I gave you a live example of calling out the details, but this can be done. Before I told students to use AI, I was AI. So the student would go like, hey, Bernie, these are my bullets. And then I'll give you a live example. So in between the recordings and the case studies, this resume follow-up. And I recommend that you, Vivek and Om, can do this if you want. So this was an exchange between me and the student. So at 11:46, the student gave me their segment 1 or whatever. We always start with segment 1. That's going to be your homework, Om. For Vivek, since he was already good with that, I may have him go directly with another class. But you see what's going on here, Om? If you notice, just like I was asking you questions, when the student gave me at 11:46, at 11:59, I started asking him questions out here, just like I ask you questions today.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the student goes, should I respond with the updated version? I said, yeah, please, so I can help you optimize the wording. And then once the student gave me the complete information, Bernie, acting as AI, well, I was HI, I was human intelligence. I did what I was suggesting for you guys earlier. This is what I said, Vivek, earlier. So your task is to frame your result in as little amount of character such that when they read it, they get it. So I was being AI for the student. So this is what Srilasa was saying earlier. Again, I like what her suggestion. She would attempt the bullet first, and then she would feed that into AI, and then say, AI, I want this to be more impactful. I want this to be more concise. and I want it to be very, very targeted. And then you could even give the job description. And then if you don't know how you're answering, you could even direct AI saying, hey, AI, this are the bullets that I have, but I know that it's not very accurate. Could you ask me at least 5 questions to jog my memory so that I can give that to you so that you can make this original bullet more impactful, more concise, more whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
You guys understand how to use AI now?
Yeah, I
And
got it now.
remember what I said during boot camp? If you're not getting the correct bullets, it's your fault because you're not prompting it correctly or to the extent. The reason we take the time to explain these principles to you is so that you could feed that into AI as you try to improve your bullets.
Okay.
Questions? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, your homework is to send me your segment 1.
Okay.
Do what that student say. Just say, hey, Bernie, this was the original. This is what I propose. And then if I don't ask you questions, that means it's very good. And then I could say, give me segment 2 or segment 3, or I could even tell you, to do what I'm going to recommend to Vivek. Vivek, okay, I could tell you what needs to get done, but I want to hear it from you. What's the game plan after this session?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna make the recommended format.
Very good.
And other than that, I think one point you made was I need to make sure the actual physical results, likely 95%, is above the descriptional
You
part.
talk about it first. Yes.
Yeah, so putting that first, and then I think, yeah, those were the 2 biggest points I saw.
Okay, good. So remember how we asked segment 1, segment 2, segment 3? You had more of that. And actually, because your bullets are much, much better, you can even attempt to, and I think you're going to write a summary as well, Vivek, right?
Yeah, I have already written one, so
Is that the summary that we saw?
yeah.
That's not very powerful compared
Okay.
to that Benjamin example. Okay, I want you to tell me why I said that's not as powerful. Do you remember Benjamin's summary? Do I need to bring it up again?
Yeah, could you bring it up?
Yes. So case study 5. Feel free to study all the case studies, by the way.
Yeah.
But case study 5 is what we talked about today. So Benjamin was asked, now my computer's slowing down. It's not reacting to my clicks. Actually, could you share your screen, Vivek?
Yeah, I would do that.
And then you can share your resume as well.
Yeah. You want me to go to Benjamin's?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then, well, actually show your resume first since I got
Oh.
you. Let's see what you got. And then we'll contrast it with Benjamin's. And then I want you to tell us why I said it's not the best.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, no, you have a different summary. I thought it was the summary in your non-format. This is different. Dang, Vivek is good. He redid his resume while listening to a Zoom call. This wasn't what you showed us earlier.
No, this was exactly what I showed earlier.
No, you showed us the non-formatted.
No, this was exactly what I showed. Like,
No.
yeah, this was it. I'm not so quick to do that.
No, I got it.
Yeah, so if you
no, but what you shared earlier was remember the non-formatted? I thought when you said you wrote the summary, but obviously this is the better one than what was in your other resume.
okay, I guess.
So now I guess I'll have to backtrack on what I said that it wasn't good. So this could be improved upon based on your improvement of your other bullets, right? So this one, computer science grad student. So is it MS computer science?
Yeah.
I would probably just say MS computer science candidate instead of the way you wrote it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like establishing that you have the MS already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So MS computer science um, candidate. And then where you say how you manage, you could just say comma and you just go directly to the managed, coordinated, 3+ cross-functional, see Ohm, how he's kind of
Oh,
modeling
wait,
what
wait,
we're
wait, wait,
talking.
wait. I think I'm sharing you the wrong one.
That's exactly why I told you. I'm not imagining, man.
I am sorry. I think I shared the wrong screen. Give me a second. That was what I was building upon. This was I was
Yeah.
actually trying
No,
to
that's
make.
fine. Actually, that's good. We could continue from there because you already got the concept, obviously, because it was the one previous to that that did not look anything like this.
Oh yeah. So this was what I showed you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying. This wasn't very good. But when you showed me that second one, I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, he's fast. He worked on that.
I don't know. I just immediately downloaded it and I was looking over that. So
Yeah. So now, do you know what to change now based on this whole
um
call?
yeah, so I would immediately just put more results in here
Yes.
in
Well,
the
results relevant. Okay, not just
yeah.
any results. It's results
Mhm.
relative to what they're looking for. That's why Ohm's going to be very strategic with it. Segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. You need to do the same.
Mhm. So yeah, I'll just like put a storyline kind of system so that segment one becomes the first sentence and segment two becomes the second sentence and
Okay, so
so
hang on. Let me just editorialize what you said about storyline. Storyline is a strategy such that when you're speaking to them, it flows, yada, yada, yada.
Mhm.
Remember, that's usually in like a spoken or like an interview or maybe even in writing. But specifically for a resume, we establish design principle number 2 that they don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily make it, a full-blown story. Just give them what they're
Mhm.
looking for. You can do the story thing during the interview.
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
here it's just boom, boom, boom. Whatever they're looking for, just go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I think these
Yes,
highlights
you
were
actually did it with that second version that you gave. And then I just gave you that one comment. So I think you
yeah.
get it.
Okay.
Questions about your homework, Vivek? You guys have two different homeworks because you are at two different places.
Mhm.
And then are you going to send it to me on LinkedIn?
Of course.
Final questions?
Nothing.
Uh, I think could you repeat? This is not like the resume part, but more the entrepreneurial questions I had.
The entrepreneurial questions about what you need to do?
Yes.
Okay, so Srilasha, I'm changing subjects. Was there anything else you need to add to the resume discussion?
I visited my
No,
mom
nothing.
yesterday, and
Yeah, Kendall. Kendall has something to say.
I thought you were.
No, no. He's working.
I know he is. Hi, Kendall.
He's saying hi.
Oh, Bernie.
Yeah.
Oh, tell him
No,
I
we're
said
good.
hi.
We're just finishing off. What did you have anything to add to the discussion, Sri?
No, nothing.
Okay, thank you. So back to Vivek about his points of entrepreneurial. Number one, thank you to Vivek because he suggested that this index doesn't have a whole lot of resources for the entrepreneurial slant, if you will, for some of our other students. But what I will share with you is back to the business relations, right? So when you do a control F and then do a hashtag business relations.
Yeah, I guess you should share your screen, pro.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it not sharing?
No.
It's saying stop share. I think you're looking at the wrong thing because mine is sharing.
Yeah, you said this.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Zoom.
you and I hit the multiple thing earlier. So
Mhm.
yeah, so under hashtag business relations. So when you click advocates, and this is what you're going to do with the people that I'm sending to you, Vivek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the whole idea of business relations, when you listen to the video, it's going to talk to you about the concept, and then this how to is what I talked about in the boot camp. You see where we says connect code, connect practice, and connect messaging. So
Mm-hmm.
Vivek, I'm sending you 3 individuals that I'm
Yeah.
suggesting you could practice these contacts. Connect code is how to open the conversation. Connect practice are just people you can practice on. And connect messaging is usually the case when people have made the connection and then they're like, what the heck do I say? In your case, it's more pointed, Vivek, because your opening could be Bernie told me to reach out to you. Okay, so you have a third party in there. So all you need to do is just put my name maybe in a one-liner and
Okay.
just say Bernie Floresca said to reach out. And since they know me, they'd be like, who's this Vivek guy? They're going to open your message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you continue based on what we discussed. And that's the whole premise of
Mm.
hashtag business relations. How do you go back and forth? Oh, actually, and I'm glad you could do also a control F with small talk. Small talk. Did I type that right? I hate these floating windows. There is no hashtag. It's just small talk because it's not a main topic. And if you guys see, it says American small talk. So, Vivek, this is here for you as well. If you want to read these
Mhm.
articles, the creating of the relationship on LinkedIn is heavily using the phenomenon that we call American small talk. So read those articles beforehand.
Okay.
Vivek, I trust that you know how to do some of that. Okay. Just based on our interactions here. So you're going to do your opening saying, Bernie Floresca told me to reach out. Wait for them to respond. Okay.
Mm.
Don't dump. Okay. Because some people, and actually I do this, I would open with Bernie Floresca told me to reach out. And then I start giving the details of everything, yada, yada, yada. Don't do that. Wait for the response first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You know why you do that? Because you could spend all this time and then they won't respond. So open the door first by saying Bernie Floresca said to reach out. When they respond, and then don't.
Okay. Got it.
Making more sense?
Mm-hmm.
More questions?
Yeah, so do I tell them about me trying to start a business and then
Yes.
go ahead?
You could continue to say, Bernie Floresca said that you were one of the students at the time. I realize you're alum. And then remember what we were talking about at boot camp? You know, you could use complimenting, you could
Oh, yeah.
use, yada, yada, yada. Look at their profile, obviously, beforehand, because
Mm,
if you, fluff their feathers, so to speak, they'll be more invested in being like, oh, who's this guy? He actually researched me, et cetera,
mm-hmm.
et cetera. And then in between those tactics that we taught you, you can start trying to get what you wanted to, but it's
Yeah.
all predicated on you creating a relationship.
Okay, got it.
More questions?
This is small point that I had was that there's this mentor-mentee program at
Mm-hmm.
IIT,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have reached out to my mentor,
Mm-hmm.
but he is sort of not in the country and he's like traveling and all.
You
So
can't help that. There's nothing
yeah.
you can do, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, that mentor program is quite formal, et cetera, et cetera. You have to go through the program. And
Mm-hmm.
if you study this business relations, just like you're reaching out to some of these students or alum now, you could
Yeah.
actually find your own mentors without having to go through a formal program like
Mm-hmm.
Illinois Tech has, because it just superimposes. So what you're being taught about business relations is in the context of job search, but job search has so many different tentacles. So you can be used, like I said, you can be used to find mentors. It can be used to find answers in your specific field, et cetera, et cetera. So to your point that they're out of the country, that's exactly why a concept like business relations comes into play, because other than that, I'd be like, sorry, Vivek, he's out of the country. We can't do anything.
Yeah.
Sri had something to share.
Yeah, so I want to talk about business relations. I want to add a point. So I'm assuming that both of you are in your first semester, and if you have time, I always say this point to first semester students because they have plenty of time that they can use to build relationship with people in their domain or whoever they want to connect. So just use your 1 year of your time, because as you can't work till one academic year, so you can spend your time to focus on people that in your domain. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, in events, just how we connect with people through, like, as friends. If we go to a particular stranger, like let's say they are in our same class as we are, and if we talk about ourselves and rather than focusing on them, I don't think they are going to talk with us again. So it's going to be the same thing when we are connecting with industry professionals. We just want to give some time to talk about ourselves later, but just talk about them, about their company, about their role. If they're talking about their home country, just ask, okay, how's your home country is. Or if they talk something, if they talk about weather, just talk about more about that. Like, as simple as that it can be. It's if we think connecting with industry professionals and connecting with friends is different things, and that's how I made a mistake in my first semester, and that is why I whatever event that I used to go, I used to like formally greet them. I know it worked for if I'm in a professional setting, a setup like conferences or any other thing, but it's a friendly gathering where I just used to go there with and full interview mode.
Mhm.
It's like I don't used to ask for a job, but I used to keep it really formal, really professional. So that I changed in end of my second semester. So you can use your time. You don't have to talk about job, just see their LinkedIn profile. If you go, like, there are apps like Eventbrite, Luma, or Meetup. So just go to events which are in your domain, and there will be definitely people who are in your domain. So just talk to them, even if they're not in your domain. They do have friends who are in similar kind of domain that as you are. So just use every resource that is there in on campus or off campus that is available for you, and note down whatever things that you're finding. If you go out to people and if you observe something, just note it down somewhere so that it is going to be useful for you later when you reaching out to people.
Yeah. Thank you for your insights, Sri.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, any questions for Sri?
That was pretty much.
So let me create a theoretical situation for you, Vivek. Okay, this person who's out of the country, how did you know they were out of the country?
Oh, I emailed them, they didn't respond, so I followed up, and then they responded
They
that
did?
yeah,
What did they say?
that I am traveling and I'm out of the country, so
Was
nothing
it a
this
canned
month.
message?
Yeah,
Okay. So that was email?
yeah, that was email.
Are you connected with them on LinkedIn?
I have followed them,
So
so
not connected.
no,
There's a
they're
difference between connect and follow. So you're not connected.
no.
Okay. So, all right. That didn't work because I would have suggested this is an application of what we said about the door opener.
Mm-hmm.
I would attempt if I knew that they were out of the country. Do you know which country they're in?
I have not
No
asked.
idea. So one of the things that you have in your hands that could be ammunition for that is, let's just say you were connected on LinkedIn and you could send them a quick message and be like, how's the weather outside of the US? So you see how that's kind of very catchy because they'd be like, who's this person, number one, saying that I'm outside of the US? And then they would relate to it because they're outside of the US. So do you see how it's very strategic?
Yeah,
But you see how it's all intel
yeah.
for you guys, and you're knowing even just a little bit of information like that, use it to your advantage, I guess is what I'm saying to Srilas's point.
Thank you. Got it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Other questions?
I think I'm good.
All right, cool, guys.
Can I add one point? Just 1 point. So, about small talk. So earlier, I used to feel a bit difficult with small talk because I don't know. I don't know how to talk with random people or random things about weather or place or different kind of things. So, but
Mhm.
it is actually going to help us out that we don't realize. So small talk is something that it is actually helping people if they are not, if they don't know the other person but still want to get connected with. So instead of taking that as a difficult thing, if we take that as advantage, so that we get few more ideas like how to connect with a particular person. So just random things will make talk a bit, and we can explore few other topics, and then we might get connect with that person later.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
It's going to be recorded. It has been recorded. This will be sent to you shortly. As you do your homework, if you have any additional questions, feel free to send me a message. And then I ask both of you to join that resume efficiency group. There are some more examples of bullet work there that could help you. So if you notice, I gave you all sorts of resources, the group being yet another resource.
Okay.
So thank you so much for your time and following this up. And we will see you on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sri.
Thank you, Bunny. Thank you, Sri. Thank you, Vivek.
Thank you for
All right.
joining.
Bye, guys. And thank you, Sagar, if you're listening to this.
Yeah, thank you.